Hello viewers, and welcome to another edition of Talk to the Camera with me, Memunatu Suma. The Political Party Regulation Commission may all issue out a press release on the ban of political street rallies, after we don't get an agreement with political parties and CSOs. So today we can talk to the chairman of the PPRC, who can give you a detailed information about the agreement we then get with CSOs and political parties. Stay tuned as we go through the interview. Hello and welcome to this interview, sir. Please tell me your name and within your position.
Mina Abdulai, Masiyambay, Bangurah, and Mina the chairman of the Political Parties Regulation Commission.
So yes, sir, in few words, explain to me the role of the Political Party Regulation Commission.
Well, principally they constitute we for oversee the activities of political parties, and we register them, of course, and after registration, now we are the institution we charge with the responsibility of overseeing all of what they do.
Recently, the PPRC biddo issued out a press release on the ban on political rallies, and this is a concern raised by the security sector, and not just a decision where the PPRC take on it.
Well, this is a concern where the general public be done the raise relating to the conduct of political parties, then where they take to the streets for conduct their activities. And based on the outcry we will get from the public, we've been get for on the recommendations of the election observer missions that came, we review and replace we act, so that the act will make sure say then prescribe then conduct then they and prescribe sanctions for anybody with the conduct himself in that manner. So the outcry is from the public, and the recommendation is from the election observer mission that came, and then we held a validation conference. We put all the proposed amendments to the act to the registered political parties, then deliberate and accept the one they accept and reject the one they reject. So the proposals wouldn't accept that they way forward in the law office. The law office prepare a bill, went through cabinet give you approval, it goes to parliament, then parliament give you an approval. So on the basis of the new powers conferred, we've been therefore impose some sanctions against both the APC and the SLPP. And then when we do that, the two parties then they grumble. They all be the things say, oh, the political party not been consultative. I mean, the commission not been consultative. We ought to have consulted them before we take the action. And so because of them grumble, then they have been therefore called them to a dialogue launch. We all go sit down. That yes, now we have the powers, and I will not give you the powers, because in parliament, all the members of parliament, they come from political parties, aside from the few independent ones say, oh, get. So now we will not give you them powers there. And now we started invoking those powers when I don't begin grumble. And we want to take Una along in anything we do. So we call Una to this dialogue launch, all sit down and get how Una feel say we will able to go about in the implementation of the new act. I mean, we all sit down, we deliberate, we agree on 4 things. 1, for respect to cultural values in any activity we then get. 2, then go help the police for weed out anybody who misconduct himself in any of the activities that we then get. 3, then go try for contain the supporters then generally for many not misconduct themselves in any activity we then get. The 4th one, way important for the purposes of this street rally, we then say we don't ban. Now the one where they ask we, the commission say, anytime now one evoke any of the powers where the new act don't give we, then they ask the commission for law be consultative and law will engage them in the enforcement of their laws then they. And on the spirit of that 4th criteria of the communique we then sign, we summoned a meeting on the 27th of March, and then we put to them the issue of the processions, because those are not rallies. I want to make it very clear that the political parties, they're not ever rallying a street. Political parties, they always rally in designated areas. The problem with the public being get with the activities them, now when the supporters then they process to and from the designated areas, then the manner in which they conduct themselves, that was what was an issue. So I called them and say, yes, we don't begin to invoke them power there, when I don't begin grumble all over the place. Now election is coming, it's around the corner. And when I get for call, when I rallies them at designated areas. But we all know what will be they happen when they call them rally they are, when supporters then they commute to those rallies, and when they are commuting from those rallies, the kind of distress will them they occasion the public. For law, we will not go conduct ourselves in that manner, then we'll come out again with the law, because now we'll not get any excuse. When they do and we're not able to punish them, the excuse has always been, we'll not get powers. Now we don't give it the powers, and we are accountable to the public. So if we misbehave, definitely we'll get for invoke the law. For law, not invoke the law again, Allah come like we don't begin grumble. Law will all cancel, law we know. Then procession there, where we support us, then we get for go now in a designated area for go campaign. Law we maintain them. And if we maintain them, you will be prepared in the event they misconduct themselves in any of the manners where the law don't prescribe. We are going to be prepared for face the consequences, or in the alternative law, put them on hold, and then save everybody the border. Let us make sure say, we regulate the manner of their movement to and from una designated areas.
Yes, sir. So you know, feel say the police charged with their duties and therefore ensure say the areas the way rallies then they take place are not able to ensure security.
The police have the responsibility, and you know say you are not a stranger in this country. The massive number where political parties then can pull out, particularly the two ones on the street, the police will definitely be constrained. And we all know, see, at the end of the day, when they pull out their supporters the way they misbehave, the police get a responsibility, like I don't say, for ensure, say, where there is a breakdown of law or law and order, then for restore, order. And in the process of doing that, all the time, then they complain, the police them. The police were high-handed, the police, they don't do something they're not supposed to do. So all of this, we they try for bring the recommendation there. Allah we all work together and ensure say will not give the police any reason for intervene. Because where there is misconduct, the police get a role for play. They have a responsibility for restore order. And in the process of doing that, these same political parties that are saying now the police should be ready to do their work, when the police do their work, now they back they grumble. Say the police, they don't use high-handedness and that kind of thing. So that was the issue. We put them before them and we make them very clear to them. The political parties regulation commission no get any position in this. It is up to you.
So yes, sir, you earlier mentioned say when I get a constructive dialogue with different political parties them. But the decision seem forget the side divided views, because while the main opposition party they criticize them and the ruling party they in favor of them. So what's not the PPRC in your take on this?
I don't think that is correct that the ruling party they in favor. They all be expressed their concerns. So it's not the APC alone that is expressing concerns. And we as a commission will not get no business for that misrepresent the outcome of our meetings. We held our meetings. All of the proceedings in the meetings are recorded, both on video and on audio. So we have the tapes when we hold our meeting day. None of the political parties not been get any dissenting view. All of them agreed. What I can attest to, the SLPP and the APC, they raise concerns. Now that we all don't agree, say, allow the campaign at designated areas, how will you manage our supporters commuting to those areas and commuting from those areas? We want to assure you, because we supporters will not get problem. Those concerns, those two, they raise, because I didn't get the numbers. They raise them concerns, and we did assure them, say, we run here on our concerns and we will sit with the security sector operators them. We then get for man their activities there. Now we draw up the guidelines so that we will able to guide una, and with una support and goodwill.
What are some of the guidelines that will have been put out to them in terms of campaign?
It was not in that meeting. Those guidelines were only put out yesterday. And the guidelines are to the effect that you don't move in those huge, unruly, and rowdy crowds who we get. You don't destroy your political opponents in campaign materials. You know, they attack your political opponents and in property. You know, they trade invectives against mamikos and that kind of thing against your political opponents. All of those regular misconduct where them begets, where the public will they cry over about, and where the new Political Parties Act of 2022 don't outlaw. Now, then, we just not set out. So it's not anything that we have manufactured. We've just brought out waiting in at the law, and the conduct where the law don't prohibit.
So yes, feel say the ban on political street rallies is a violation on the country and democracy, because the political rallies not prohibited in the political new act of 2022.
We have not banned any street rally. we have banned the conduct of the supporters processing to the designated areas where the supporters then for go, I mean, where the political party they rally. So nobody will tell me that we have infringed on anybody in right for associate or for rally. As I tell you from the beginning of this interview, that political parties not ever rallying at the street, because when they come out, there are no messages other than people dancing, misbehaving, distressing the public, and then kind of thing. That is the conduct we want to search, and we don't make them very clear that we as a commission, we have no interest in this. Our only interest is to ensure that as an oversight body, we try for work with we constituent the winner of the political parties. For law, we get them people then for behave in the normal way, and for me, we will get a level playing field, who say everybody will go about in business. And talking about the infringement of the rights of people, I mean, in law, it's very simple. Every right gets a correlative duty. If you have your rights, the enjoyment of your rights should be subject to you observing my own rights. And the streets are public property. Everybody is entitled to apply the roads. And if you go gather your supporters them, you exclude all other users of the road, what right do you have for let you go and come by the street to the exclusion of all other people who are entitled to the use of that street? So we have not infringed anybody in right. And as I say, we were in that meeting, everybody agreed. If everybody now thinks what we agree on, they don't want to go by. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, when you come to report to your political parties and people react otherwise, you have the right to say, yes, I agreed, but this is what the thing is. People are threatening to go to court. We really encourage people to go to court. That is what we want. I mean, what we do will not get any benefit in this. The only benefit we get is the satisfaction that as a commission, we don't do we work. You understand? And we want for let the law go look into this. Men until we say we don't overstep we mandate, and that what we did will not be get right for them, it's fine by us. We'll not get any problem. If that is the decision of the law, we are fine. But let we go develop the political jurisprudence of this country. Men and go tell the court, say, by trying to regulate the conduct of their supporters, we don't distress the public in this country. We all know what will happen when they go out in the street, and we are all in this country. So let we go before the court. Let the court go tell me, say, waiting we don't try for regulate is wrong. We have no problem. We are under the law. We're not above the law. But for now, as far as the commission is concerned, it was an agreement we all reached. And yes, I have heard the grumbles from the main opposition party that they are not ready to go by that agreement. It's fine. If you are not ready to go by that agreement, they challenge it in court. And until you do so, there is an agreement. And I expect that every political party should be law-abiding and all man for comply with that agreement. If you don't, we are public officers. You have the right to search us. You get the right for inquiry into we conduct. That's why we are here. If I don't want for Allah to be scrutinized, I will resign. You understand? But as long as I'm in a public office, people get the right for inquiry into what I do and what I fail for do.
So how long this agreement can last for in the political landscape of Salone?
We spoke in respect of the upcoming election. So we'll expect that when we go through this, if there is going to be any other need for discussing issues, and we'll go back to the table and discuss them. And we own concern is the safety. It's public safety, public peace, and public morality.
So the Commission believes, say, throughout the June 2023 election, the citizens of this country will be safeguarded and peace and stability will be maintained?
Well, the Commission, they work to ensuring that throughout the 2023 election, the people of this country will have peace and there will be public safety. And we are not, I have said this over and again, we as a commission, we are not providing a solution. What will they do now, this commission, with all of the efforts who they make, we are offering a solution. And the success of that offer is dependent on the conduct of everybody that is involved in the political landscape, the goodwill and the support we want to give. You understand? I mean, we are not rallying. We are not contesting any election. It is you, the political parties. And I want to let the public know, say, they don't even start for rally it. They don't begin cherry and posters. You walk around the streets of Freetown, you see, say, most of the posters, we then don't display. They don't begin bust them. So you can imagine who said they come out with their crowds, and those posters are there. And then at the end of the day, by the time you end up with your rally, then all the posters are gone. They are all torn. And you will call the rally, the PPRC will come after you. I mean, in keeping with the new laws. It's very prescribed there now that you cannot destroy your opponent's campaign materials.
So float parade then therefore be allowed, for instance, victory parade after the elections?
Of course. We don't have any problem with that one. As long as when you get success in anything, you have to celebrate your success. So, I mean, that is not an issue. What is an issue is for let people not come, pull out crowd, and disrupt the electoral process. That's what we are saying. Everybody is calling for a level playing field. And in fact, talking about float parades, we introduced those. When we had our by-elections after the 2018 election, we all know what will be happen. Tonko Limba, Post Ndaile. Constituency 110, they attack a political opponent in Os and in people them. Kono and Kwenadugu, we already then rule song and obscene songs they wouldn't be sing in public. Then Kwea and Samaya Bendigu, we all know the distress we've been there. So in everywhere we have had by-election after the 2018 election, then rally they have done the discomfort the people then. You understand? So this is why we think that we can come out and see what we all were able to do for law put an end to this thing. We are not encumbering anybody's right to campaign. But we want this time, let the campaign be on issue. We want this time, instead of taking our young people to the streets, you drug them, they dance and they misconduct themselves. We want for let to give people an opportunity for men able to sit down, reflect, and assess the politician there. What have they done for us? People have been there before. What did they do for us that is good for this country? We make them deserve a comeback. People are there now. What have they done? 45 years they've been there. That will make them feel they deserve a second opportunity. People have not been there, but they are clamoring to go there. What did they get way different from the two who have been there? Those are the messages we want. A lot of people then begin to reflect. The politicians, they are very much aware that them procession there, where the people then they get dance, drug them, they go to it to their advantage. Because it gives them the opportunity for escape scrutiny. The people are not going to think well and ask them very serious questions. They give them omole, then they drink, then they dance. By the time they get to the National Stadium or any place where they be the campaign, all man done drunk. And sometimes even the political party leader are not able to get to the destination because the streets are blocked. People are misbehaving. I don't see that one day at one rally when somebody was supposed to be in a National Stadium for addressing supporters them, he could not get to that stadium until 9. And by the time he got there, people they don't scatter. You understand? So they know that then disorderly conduct there, where the supporters then they perpetrate, it tend to their advantage because it is saved them from critical questions and analysis. That's why they are supporting them. And we want this time around, let this be an issue-based election. Tell me what you don't do. And what if you say they can do different. Tell me what they do now. And what if you say they can do more. Tell me what you not be don't do anything, but we can do what you want can do. That's what we should do.
You know, Phil said the people, they also need for be schooled on this because most people ignorant of the issues there where they talk about.
Yes, definitely. That is why the guidelines they all don't post out. Not to me, one great sign. I mean, it was signed by the National Security Coordinator, NSCORD, signed by the IG, signed by the Electoral Commissioner, the Chief Electoral Commissioner, signed by me as Chairman of PPRC, and then signed by NACID, National Council on Civic Education and Democracy. And they have the primacy from reach out to the people then and explain all of what is contained in those guidelines. So yes, it's a two-pronged approach. We're dealing with the political parties who are critical stakeholders in the electoral process, but also we reach out to the public for explain to them that this is about you. This is not about the PPRC. And this is about holding our politicians accountable. Many can't tell we, many can't now we do much. Door-to-door campaign. Many allow we able to go peacefully na the designated areas where they want to talk to we. And allow we for ask them questions. Many able to tell we what they don't do.
What about door-to-door campaign just now? If you say we get the enclosed places in this country for host them door-to-door campaign, then they without any form of violence?
Door-to-door campaign is about coming to my house, you leave my house after talking to me, you go to the next person's house. I am sure the one you're talking about is the designated areas. I mean, definitely we have a lot of community fields. We get plenty side. I know we are aware of the fact that the stadium is under renovation. We know that one. But we also know that we get Kintom, we get Hill Station Community Field, we get Achuga Mini Stadium, we get plenty areas there. And it is not incumbent that our power say if for campaign at one place. That is also waiting people there for know. When it is your day to campaign, you are a big political party. If you want to let your supporters then go all over the place because of the problem of commuting. Let's say somebody they Calabar town. By the time they work out for Kamna Kintom, something campaign London. You can hold one rally. Now Achuga Mini Stadium for the East. You hold another one na Hill Station Community Field for that area. You can hold another one here. And people, leaders of your party, they address them and talk to them. But as I say, here at the Commission, we are offering a solution in consultation with we constituent the winner of the political parties. We are not imposing anything on anybody. I mean, whatever that comes out of this, we are fine. If the court goes and says, Mr. Man, you don't overstep your bound, you ought not to have done this, and allow them to process in the streets in the manner they used to do, fine by us. We will be there to observe. If you transgress, then we come after you. If the court says we are right, let us campaign in designated areas, fine by us. So we don't get any fixation on this one. And people for saying that PPRC say it's not PPRC. This is PPRC. We had concerns and we convene a meeting, we put those concerns too. Then people I mean, the public had always asked us when them party they misbehave. What team PPRC they do? You are in this country, those questions had come up. Then people there, they constitute them for regulate their political parties there. Now them party they misbehave all over the place. What team PPRC they do? Then they will not get power. So we are toothless bulldog. We will not be able to do nothing. And then say when at the political parties, then see don't they realize it, then conduct their them they do not correct. Law will put a law, we go at least make sure say we structure, we self how would they behave for going to place them, for go listen to party leaders them. You understand? And now that we have those powers, what explanation are you people expecting us to sit back idly and allow what be done to happen to the discomfort of the public for happen again? Whose excuse will we go give to the public? If they go out here and then begin throw stones, then begin cause mammy cost, then begin thief, then begin fet. You understand? Whose excuse now will we get for give to the public if they ask we say PPRC when are they under? Now when our government set up for let when I regulate them and their behavior, they are all over the place misbehaving. That excuse will be get before all the talk say will not get power, will not get time again. Now we are accountable to the public. We get for sure and say, I mean they are getting their money's worth. We are paid from the taxpayers' money. And then put we in eye for a purpose. They don't put we out for consider at the end of the month he take his salary doing nothing. So we are merely doing what the law say we for do. We have not done any wrong.
So for round up everything where you don't say everything will be advice to viewers and the citizens of Sierra Leone at large.
That whatever PPRC is doing is in pursuit of our mandate. And we are very mindful that we not do anything would be in excess of the authority what we get. And that issue of the street procession where we all say law put on hold on, not to PPRC instructions. It's not coming from us by way of an imposition. No. This is not a decision. It's a consensus of all the political parties. As I tell you, I have heard parties now saying that they are not going by that. We then get the authority for do if they are not comfortable with any decision from any government institution, then get the right for such that decision. But me, they encourage them for men and take the right path. Go to court. Challenge us. Law will not take the law now we earn. And law will be respectful to state officials. We are just doing a job. I'm here tomorrow. I may not be here tomorrow. I'm here today, sorry. I may not be here tomorrow. Somebody else will be here. Law will learn for respect state institutions and public officials. We not get anything. When I was in my private practice, I had no business with anybody's business. I'll be there on my own. Now I was given this privilege of serving my country, and I have a defined mandate. I think, say, I get for earn me brief. We the lawyers now, so they call it. You get for earn you brief. You get for work for what they pay you for. You cannot come here and sit down, and you see people the way they say you for regulate, and they don't give you the powers, and you see them, and they misbehave. So media appeal to political parties. This is not about the PPRC. This is about you. We want a level playing field. We want an atmosphere of peace and tranquility so that ECSL and every other critical stakeholder in the electoral process will able to get the opportunity for men to do their work effectively. If we don't do anything where if you say we don't transgress on your rights, we don't infringe any of your rights, challenge us. Take us to court. The court will be there, and I think the court will be bold enough for tell we say, Mr. Man, when I don't go a step too far, you ought not to have done this. Then we sit back. But this issue of being confrontational, this issue of being very disrespectful to state officials and state institutions, it will not help the country. And at the end of the day, you are clamoring to win political power. And if you do, you will be occupying some of these offices. I don't think you will want to be treated in that manner. And okay, any business for stop you from sending out your campaign messages. In fact, I'm supposed to aid you in doing that. And that is why, because of, again, another issue will be considered. Over the years, one of the political parties, they don't broadcast on social media very inflammatory statements, very divisive messages. And because of that conduct, the political atmosphere is very toxic. We are aware of that fact. Nobody for deny that. Now, when I be descending tribal rhetorics, then ethno-regional rhetorics, then inflammatory statements, very hate speech, on social media all over. The youth wanna attack dogs, wanna surrogate everything. We are aware. And because of that conduct, the atmosphere tense. And everybody will mean well for this country. We all for make sure say we adopt appropriate steps for law we diffuse the tension in there, so that we're not going to get a quiet electoral process. If you think by doing so we are doing wrong, then we make no apology to anybody. We just want law we all think alone. Law we all make sure say we diffuse the tension there. We wanna the politicians not great. For a lot of people then get peace. Many will make an informed decision and many choose the next set of leaders for the next 5 years. Lord not stampede them into dancing, drinking, and then begin to misconduct themselves again. We owe it to them.
Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure.
Viewers, as now done they watch that Nabe Bangurah, the chairman for the Political Party Regulation Commission. He explained so we said the ban will comprise different political parties there and CSOs where they agree say no street rally will take place come June 2023 election. This now for safeguard and protect the life of citizens in the country. And he also mentioned say if any political parties get dissenting views to this agreement, then get the right for charge them to court. So till we meet again for bringing on interesting stories where they happen around Salon. Me na Memunatu Suma and this my favorite program Talk to the Camera. We say tata.